What's up, everybody? This is the Welcome to the Show podcast. I'm Manny Gomez. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at MannyGo3. CT.
CT here, also known as LA in some circles. Follow me on Twitter, Hovamojo.
at Hovamojo. What's your IG handle? You want to give that away?
Man. LUI Gomez _11.
Louis Gomez _11.
That's right.
With an
Keep
I.
it simple.
All right. So today we're going to talk about Luis Severino. Then we're going to jump into the Red Sox. I feel like we have to have a conversation about the Red Sox because they have been popping up on. They've been popping up. Then we're going to talk about Bryce Harper and Manny Machado real quick. So those are the topics of the day. CT, let's start off with Luis Severino. Let's ease into this thing a little bit. You know what I'm saying? First of all,
Yep.
It was reported that he received a 4-year, $40 million offer from the Yankees, an extension. What's your take on this extension, man? How do you feel about this?
I think it's kind of weird that the Yankees extended somebody, especially someone like Severino, who shows the potential to be like an ace.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like they never extend anybody. Like, we might never see them extend Aaron Judge, even though it's a no-brainer, right?
Do you think so?
Yeah, don't you think?
I don't know. To me, this kind of signaled that the Yankees are ready to make some sort of change in terms of the way things are handled, at least until the next collective bargaining agreement. The deal with Severino was to avoid arbitration negotiations moving forward. So it's a 4-year deal. Severino's is arbitration eligible for the next 4 years. So they're not going to have to go through this whole arbitration mumbo jumbo every single year where players are winning. You know what I'm saying? Like last year, Trevor Bauer, not only did Trevor Bauer win, he got more than what he asked for, which I don't know how the hell that works, but it happened. Jacob deGrom just got $17 million in arbitration. Trevor Bauer, again, got $13 million in arbitration. So for me, this is the Yankees saying, we're going to overpay you right now, because he probably would have gotten something around $4 or $5 million in arbitration this year. And but down the line, it's gonna save us a headache, and you'll get a guaranteed $10 million no matter what happens.
You really thought that he was only going to get like $4 million or $5 million in arbitration?
Yeah, well,
Sevy?
Sevy asked for like 5 and change or something in arbitration. The first year you don't get that much, and the Yankees, I think, offered him 4 and change. So that's why they went into arbitration to begin with, and in order to avoid a hearing, you have to agree on something. And I guess the Yankees felt that it made more sense for them to sign him to a 4-year deal and avoid arbitration altogether.
Yeah, I don't know. I could picture Severino getting way more than $10 million a year in those last 2 years of arbitration.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and correct me if I'm wrong, but arbitration, you're supposed to get pretty much what like the average is for your position, right?
No, I mean, it really, the first year in arbitration, you don't get that much money. It's still a battle. Severino, the Yankees, if the Yankees were to give Severino, say, in arbitration, $10 million for this 1 year, he would have broken the single season, Rays record in arbitration.
First year
Ever, I think.
Yeah.
So it always starts off low and then it makes its way up. Like Nolan Arenado last year, I think he got $17 million or something. This year he's up to 27. Like, it just increases year in and year.
Most money made arbitration goes to Nolan Arenado. I get that.
Yeah.
But I mean, like for deGrom, in deGrom's case, he should have gotten more, don't you think? Compared to what other starting pitchers are making, compared to what like Evaldi got.
That's the thing, is that in arbitration you're not going to get that stuff. In free agency, you should be able to, but in arbitration, you're not going to. And by the way, we're on Instagram Live, so if you guys have any questions or comments or anything, any takes you have you want us to respond to, drop it in the comment section right below, and we'll get to it as best as we can. So yeah, I think that this whole thing was in order to avoid arbitration negotiations where players are winning. Every player has won their arbitration case so far, and to me, it's those comments are distracting. I think that it's a sign that next year, when Gary Sanchez and Aaron Judge become arbitration eligible, that the Yankees are going to try to do the same thing. Are they going to, bite like Severino did? I don't know. I don't think so, but they're going to try, I think.
So you think Severino got a little bit scared of what might happen if he went into arbitration?
I think
the fact that he agreed. I mean, I personally think the Yankees got him for cheap. Like, I think Severino's worth more than $10 million a year. When you see what starting pitchers are making, I think he's worth more than $10 million a year. So
yeah, I think that right now, in terms of arbitration, he's being overpaid. But in the long run, if this continues, he's going to be underpaid. I mean, think about it.
Yeah.
This is deGrom's is it his last year in arbitration, or he has one more year left? He has $17 million. So essentially, if Severino can maintain the dominance that he had at the beginning of last season, he should be able to get that $17 million 2 or 3 years from now. But he forfeited that. So the Yankees are overpaying now, but later on they're going to be underpaying. And I think that you're right. At the end of the day, Severino lost this argument. But I think that this eases us to the next conversation. It makes a little bit of sense. The second thing is that Severino also had some comments today. So let me break this down for you guys. Today, let me break it down even further. Last week, deGrom had told reporters that he might limit his innings this season if he doesn't get a multi-year contract extension before opening day. That was a deGrom demand. Today, Severino made some comments in regards to that. After being asked a question, he said, "For me, I would never do something like that. I want to pitch. I love to pitch. I love this game. I'd never do that." Then he followed it up by saying, after somebody asked him if there's a time for negotiation and a time for play, he said, exactly, he's making money. He's making $17 million. So, to me, it seems to me like Severino saying, I took this $10 million knowing that perhaps I'm being underpaid, but I just want to pitch. I don't want to think about it. What do you think that was about? I can see it in your face. You had a problem with it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why he's saying, I feel like he's only saying it because he signed his extension. So now he looks like a team player, right?
Yeah.
He looks like he did what's best for the organization. Because let's be honest, $40 million 4 years for Sevy he's getting underpaid in the long run. I think we can both agree he's getting underpaid. So now he looks like a team player, but I really feel like if he played for another organization like the Mets, he'd be in the same position. And we don't know what he would have done, especially since, deGrom had a way better season than Sevy's probably ever going to have last season. Not trying to say that Sevy isn't talented, but deGrom did something that is going to go down in history as one of the best seasons ever. And he still has to somewhat prove himself for like a contract. So I don't know what else deGrom was supposed to do. I'm not saying I like that he's holding out, that he's limiting his innings and stuff, but I also don't understand like what he's supposed to do. I mean, he's in a very tough position. He's not young like Sevy is. So just to answer your question, I don't think Sevy should have said anything along those lines. Kind of makes him sound like I just think he should stay out of that business.
Yeah,
if that makes any sense.
Yeah, in a way, I agree with you. In one way, I like the fire. I like that Sevy's talking shit. Like, I've never seen this side of Severino. You know what I'm saying? Usually, he's a quiet guy. But maybe he got some confidence after he got that contract. He doesn't have to worry about this stuff. There's no more drama. So I kind of like the fire coming out of Severino. But by the same token, I don't like it when players comment on other players' financial situation. Like, that's not
me neither.
That's not that's not a place for players to go. Like, you want to talk about deGrom's, you want to talk trash about deGrom's game and stir some shit that way, cool, but not the money. Like, stay out of people's pockets, in my mind.
Yeah, and again, Severino's whole career has been a part of a good team. Like, we're talking about the Mets, and deGrom, and they have the money to sign him. They can afford deGrom. If anybody could afford him, top tier players, it's a New York team.
I agree, and we know how we feel about the Mets. I got trashed. I wrote a piece on Call to the Pen. I got assassinated this week over trashing the Mets. So we know how Mets fans feel about this stuff. They absolutely have the money, but by the same token, Jacob deGrom, I believe his $17 million is a record number for a pitcher in arbitration. So shut up and pitch at this point. You got money from the Mets. You agreed to sign something in arbitration with the Mets in $17 million. It's time to put the contract talk aside or do it on the hush, not in public. That's kind of what I don't like about the whole thing.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that I agree with him limiting his innings. Like, I think that's I was gonna curse. I just think it's a bad look for a professional player. Like, what are you telling the kids? But in the same token, like, he plays for the Mets and he wants to be a Met. Like,
right.
I don't know what else I don't know what else an organization looks for when extending a player and, taking care of your player. He's been with the Mets his whole career and he wants to be a Met, and you're the Mets.
Yeah.
Like, you don't get too many of those. You don't get too many of the top tier players that come through the farm system and want to stay there, so
maybe,
I don't know. I can see both sides of it. The only thing I don't like is what deGrom, his decision is to limit his innings, but I definitely don't condone Sevy, getting all in his face about it, talking trash.
Maybe the Mets are thinking, and I'm playing devil's advocate because I don't agree with them, but maybe they're thinking deGrom is 31, 32 years old. Why are we going to give this guy a 5-year deal? By the time the deal's over, he's 37. How many pitchers do you know? Justin Verlander, maybe Max Scherzer. Aside from those guys, how many pitchers are dominating beyond the age of 35 years old?
Hey, man, I don't know, but I'm a players guy. I'm always going to play the players.
Yeah, no. I'm with you, man. And to that point, if we want to stick with the Mets, Brody Van Wagenen came into this whole thing, and I like the move. I like that they hired Brody. He seems like a cool guy. He seems like an aggressive guy. But if you really look at the moves that he's made this year, they're very similar to moves that the Mets have made throughout their history. And I wrote a piece earlier this week where maybe my comparisons weren't that good. Like I said that the Mets should have gone after DJ LeMahieu instead of Jed Lowry. And I also said that instead of signing Familia for $10 million, they could have gotten Ottavino for $9 million. Or they could have gotten D-Rob, or they could have gotten Craig Kimbrell, for God's sakes. They have the money. The point that I'm trying to make is you're a big market team. You're $50 million under the luxury tax threshold. Go out there and improve your team to the point that you're going to compete against the Phillies. Does anybody in here believe right now that the New York Mets are going to be competitive in the NL East? I think that they're going to win some games. They might finish above 500, but I don't think they're better than the Phillies. I don't think they're better than the Braves, and I don't think they're better than the Nats. So you have to really do something, almost radical to put yourself, at the top of the hill. And I don't think they did that. You know what I mean? It's like last year they signed a right fielder. Anybody watching this video right now, last year JD Martinez was on the free agent market. And of course, hindsight being 2020, we saw the type of season JD Martinez put together this year. We know what kind of hitter JD Martinez was. Who would you have taken, Jay Bruce or JD Martinez?
JD Martinez, and that's I think that's the point I was trying to make before. Like, and again, I understand the business side of baseball, but deGrom has to take matters into his own hand, and then yet you guys gave Jay Bruce 3 years, $39 million. Like,
oh my God,
Jay
man.
Bruce,
it's insane.
That's what I'm saying. Like I think they'd rather overpay because they're not. Jay Bruce isn't gonna sign like a $30 million a year type of contract like deGrom deserves, right? Mm-hmm. So I think they'd rather overpay for the less talented guys than overpay for the guys that kind of deserve the money. And you can make the argument if they deserve it or not. I think they deserve it. Yeah, you can make the argument if you don't think players should get paid.
Yeah,
$35 million a year and all that stuff.
For me, it's a matter of do you have the money and which player is going to improve my team more than the rest. And the thing is that if Jay Bruce was a 25-year-old right fielder on the market as opposed to JD Martinez, fine, you're seeing potential. You want to see this guy maybe turn into something that he wasn't before. But Jay Bruce, I don't have the information in front of me right now, but Jay Bruce might be even older than JD Martinez. I'm not sure. I'm not,
He's 32.
Okay, so they're around the same age. And this year, Jeurys Familia, yes, he's younger than Adam Ottavino, but let's be honest with ourselves. Adam Ottavino is an up and down pitcher. We know that. But he pitched in Colorado, and he put together one of the best seasons for a reliever last season in a while. And if you don't feel comfortable with Adam Ottavino, who would you take, D-Rob or Jeurys Familia?
I'd take D-Rob, but let me say this about Familia real quick. I'm not saying he sucks.
He doesn't suck.
But no, I'm not saying he sucks. And I don't have to look at these numbers. And whoever's listening to this could correct me if I'm wrong. But how many times did you watch Familia come into a game and just shit the bed?
Exactly.
Like how many times? I personally, I think he's a good. For example, if you put Familia on the Yankees, he's a monster because that's already a good bullpen.
Yeah.
But he shouldn't be like the pillar to your bullpen. I don't think he's anything special. Like I don't know why people even
he's not
consider him. Yeah, he just had that one season where he I was like 50 almost. How many saves? It's like that streak of saves, which is great.
We saw what Familia did in Oakland last year, and it wasn't impressive. You know what I mean?
No.
And the Mets got Edwin Diaz. I don't want to shit too much on the Mets because they did make an aggressive move in getting Cano and Edwin Diaz, so that's good. But Edwin Diaz is a 1-inning pitcher, and then you have the guys who are going to lead up to Edwin Diaz. Do they strike any confidence in you? And Jeurys Familia is probably the best pitcher aside from Edwin Diaz in that bullpen. But like one of our commenters just said, Kevin, Red Sox fan, boo. Does he strike any confidence in you? Is he the guy that would have made the difference in your team that's available in the market? That's the point. And to me, he wasn't. To me, Craig Kimbrel is the greatest reliever. I can't believe I'm saying this, man. Hold on. I got to take off this hat real quick.
Just don't say it. Like, just compliment the guy. But
Craig Kimbrel is, statistically speaking, Craig Kimbrel is one of the greatest relievers of all time. And he's still sitting out there. He's available. And you're $50 million under the luxury tax threshold. You're the number 6 team ranked in terms of value. And you're not going out there and trying to get that guy. You're not going out there and trying to get Manny Machado. You're not going out there and trying to get Bryce Harper. Come on, man. That's why the Mets will always be second fiddle to the Yankees. And that's why when it comes to a Red Sox fan and a Yankees fan, the only thing we can agree on is we hate the Mets because of stuff like this. Let me put my hat back on.
Yeah, man. Completely forgot the point that I was going to make. So,
Okay.
I wanted to answer a question that Kevin brought up before. Who's going to break out this year? Clint Frazier or Greg Bird?
That's a troll question right there. And I'm not going to lend any I'm not going to give the time of day to answer that question. Let's move on to the second topic, CT. Because,
all right. Okay, cool.
Because we
Clint
can't
Frazier,
go.
by the way.
Wait, all right. The next question is the Red Sox. I'm going to give you some time, CT, to talk about the Red Sox. So there's some serious questions about the world champion Boston Red Sox. One, you lost Joe Kelly. Who else did you lose? I can't remember. You lost somebody else. Craig Kimbrel in free agency. And now Kimbrel apparently is not coming back. Are you worried about the Red Sox? And actually, Kevin, again, posed a question earlier in the show. Do you think that they can repeat this year?
Hell yeah.
All right.
And I think the Red Sox are going to be all right because we had the best offense last year.
I like that energy.
We scored the most runs.
All right.
And our starting pitching is why we won the World Series, along with scoring runs. Obviously, you got to score runs to win.
And along with Joe Kelly having, the best month of his life.
No, Joe Kelly pitched amazing, but let's be honest. Joe Kelly is like he's up and down. He's either going to give you a good performance because he throws like hard as hell, by the way, but he's also one of the most shakiest relief pitchers ever. And let's remember, Kimbrel didn't have a good playoff either. So I just think some guys are going to have to step up. And once we get into the playoffs, I mean, everything changes. Some guys from the starting rotation go into relief role. Some starting pitchers pitch on 2 days rest. So, I think the Red Sox are going to be all right. And just please watch your mouth if you're going to disrespect them.
I'm not going to disrespect the Red Sox. And I agree with you. I don't think that the Red Sox are going anywhere. I think that we're making a big thing out of relief pitching, which it is a big deal. But it's a big deal for a team like the Yankees, to draw a fair comparison, because the Yankees are made up of a rotation that doesn't have stamina. None of their pitchers have ever gone 200 innings except for CC Sabathia, and we know that he's never going to do that again. So we need a tough bullpen to remedy that situation. And I think that the Yankees are kind of like, they remind me of kind of like the Pittsburgh Steelers, to draw an NFL comparison. Mm-hmm. The Steelers always relied on defense. That was the name of their game, and a decent running game. The Yankees, it's never been about the starting pitcher. We've had them in our rotation before, like Roger Clemens. But Roger Clemens, when he was with the Yankees, if we go back and look at his stats, he was never the best pitcher on the rotation, let's say. So we relied on a strong bullpen. That's the identity of the New York Yankees, and you need that. So
all I'm gonna say, just say this. What were the 2 best bullpens in the playoffs last year?
Well, the Red Sox bullpen, aside from Kimbrel, was...
No, we pitched as a team. We ended up stepping it up in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But before that wild card game was played, who had the 2 best bullpens
in Major League Baseball? Sides?
Yeah.
I think the Yankees had the best bullpen in baseball.
The Yankees, and I'm gonna help you out. The Brewers had the best.
Oh, with Josh
bullpen.
Hader, yeah. Their bullpen.
Yeah. How did that work out?
All right, get out of here.
That's what I'm saying, man. I'm just saying, like, everybody was making a big deal of the bullpen before the playoffs started. I remember when the Yankees went to Fenway and whooped the Red Sox in that last series at Fenway, and our bullpen was a question. David Price was a question.
So yeah,
like,
and that was the point that I was trying to make before, is that you have the starting pitchers that can go the distance. You have Chris Sale can give you 9 any given day. David Price, up and down, whatever his situation is, he can go the distance as well. Rick Porcello can go the distance. So you have 2 spots where you're going to need a bullpen, where you're going to absolutely need a bullpen to help you win. And that's the number 5. Mm-hmm. That's the number 4 or 5 slots in the rotation. Other than that, you can probably ride with that one. You probably have a good enough offense to score enough runs. But I'm hoping that Mookie Betts has one of those seasons where he just gets injured all the time, as much as I love the guy.
Oh, damn. No, that sucks. Don't ever do that.
I mean, I don't want him to die or anything.
Yeah, but I mean, injured.
I just want him to have like that hand injury he had a couple years ago. Like, bring that back.
Seeing a professional athlete get injured is the worst thing ever, because they spent their whole lives trying to get to that point.
Like I said, like a hand injury or something. Something minor.
I would
get him out of the lineup for a couple days.
I would appreciate it if you just don't. I would never say that about a Yankee player. I wouldn't even say that. I wouldn't even say that about Aaron Boone. Like,
all right, fine. I take it back. I hope that Mookie Betts and JD Martinez go on an extended slump. How about that?
Whatever. And I want to, just restate something. I'm not saying that we don't need Kimbrel or even Joe Kelly. I wish those guys were still in the Red Sox. I'm just saying, let's see what happens when the season starts. Today, if you ask me if the Red Sox are going to be all right and if they can repeat, I would say yes.
All right, let me ask you another question, and I want you to take that Red Sox hat off. I want you to be the objective CT real quick.
I'll turn it back, but I'm not taking the hat off.
All right.
Okay.
Who's better right now on paper entering the season? Who do you think is better? Do you think the Yankees are better or the Red Sox better?
On paper, the Yankees.
Okay. Good job, man.
You wanted me to say the Red Sox, and no, the Yankees added the minute they added Paxton, they kind of already,
they
went a little bit above the paper.
They addressed the biggest weakness.
The biggest weakness, yeah. I'm not blind to the fact that the Yankees won 100 games, and I know they did it with Gary Sanchez in a slump, and Aaron Judge missed like a month and everything.
Excuse
but
me,
let's
correct
remember
your voice right now. Let's not hear that whiny voice. Say it like a normal.
No, I'm just saying that I'm not blind to the fact that the Yankees still won 100 games, and that they added Paxton, who I think Paxton is an ace and is depends what team he plays for. He's the best pitcher on that team. He plays for the Mets, he won't be, but if he plays on the Yankees, I think he is the best pitcher. So on paper, the Yankees, But everybody thought the Yankees were better on paper last year too when the season started. Let's be honest with that.
Don't start with that whole
Vegas had
underdog bullshit. All right, guys. Let's move on to the third topic, and then we're gonna end it for the day, unless we have some other stuff to talk about. We'll see what happens. Because we do have an interview coming up with CJ Beatty. That's not going to be on IG Live. That's going to be recorded separately, and it'll be released on Wednesday, I believe. This episode will be out tomorrow. So let's move on to the final topic, CT. Last night, today's Monday, right? Last night, John Heyman released a slew of tweets, a whole bunch of tweets, stating that Bryce is said to have received multiple offers and that they're expected to be long-term, and they're expected to be over the $30 million threshold. Boo. One of those offers is from the San Diego Padres, and the Padres apparently also offered a deal to Manny Machado worth 8 years and $250 million. They're giving him the $30 million that he wants plus. Not only that, it's being reported that the offer to Bryce Harper from the Padres was even bigger than Manny Machado. So the Padres are all in right now, man. What do you let's live in an imaginary world where Bryce Harper and Manny Machado go to the Padres. Do you think they become the best team in the NL West?
No.
No, right? Why?
No, I mean, because the baseball doesn't work like that. Like you can't. Basketball might work like that. You get the best quarterback. Football might work like that, but nah, man. They're far from probably not even making the playoffs if they add those two guys.
I think they'll make the playoffs because the Diamondbacks are in a rebuild. They traded away Goldie and all that stuff. The Giants aren't going anywhere yet. They'll be there soon. The Rockies are kind of like I'm not sure what the Rockies are. But they can. I think that the Padres could make the postseason, but I don't think they'll get beyond the first round or the wild card if they make it because they don't have pitching. They don't have a bullpen. They don't have pitching.
I just feel like there's a real quick. You keep cutting off. I don't even know what's going on right now.
Yeah, you're cutting off too.
All right, I think we're back. I missed the last part of what you said, but doesn't it always just seem like there's growing pains in baseball? Like after the first year, like Stan had those. Mm-hmm. Cespedes after he signed that contract. I mean, they went to the World Series the year before, and then they signed Cespedes, and we know how that went. I don't know. I don't see them being a good team if they sign both of them, but I wish they would. And I was talking to a friend of mine the other day about this, and he made a good point that where's the competitiveness in baseball? Like, shouldn't these smaller market teams that are always out of it, shouldn't they be the ones getting these players as well? Because it's always like it just seems like it's always the Yankees, it's like the Phillies. These are the only teams that are trying to make moves when in reality it should be these lesser teams that are getting these players to make it more competitive. I mean, what are they waiting for? I'd offer them $400 million deals at this point.
That's why I'm a believer, and we're kind of going off on tangents here, which whatever. It's a Welcome to the Show podcast, ladies and gentlemen. We go off on tangents. That's what happens.
Yeah.
I think that what happens is that small market teams, they cry boo-hoo, but they never do what's necessary to try to win games. Like, there's a reason why the San Diego Padres are never in it. Like, when's the last time they were in the World Series? 1998? And I think they got swept that year. You know what I mean? By who? The Yankees. Just have to throw that in there. Teams teams like like the Oakland A's are in it every once in a while or whatever, but you never really take them seriously. There's a reason why. And that's why I'm a believer in salary floors. I think that you need to force teams to spend a certain amount of money in order to make the game more competitive. And I think player salaries will go up, so players will be happy. More teams will be competitive, and you're in a way you're combating analytics because you're not going to have a team like the Oakland A's go out there and spend $70-80 million on a team when the Yankees are spending $200 and the Boston Red Sox are spending $250. You know what I'm saying? Make a salary floor, make everybody start spending some money. Every team is worth $1 billion, so they have the money. So, spend it. Make them spend it.
also, I think besides the Astros winning it in 2017, I think every MLB team for I don't know how many years in a row has always been in the top of salary. Like they're always teams that spend money. Just so people know, you got to spend money. I think you have to spend money. I think analytics are doing more. They're doing just as much negative impact on the game than positive, because the only reason these teams are trying to get smart now and play money ball is this analytics crap. Yeah, that's my take on it.
Yeah, no. And you're gonna be surprised because I'm an analytics guy. I agree with you. I think that analytics, it's almost like, I'm gonna draw some crazy ass comparison here. So follow along with me, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna take you for a ride down comparison lane with Manny Gomez. Are you ready? Analytics is like, it reminds me of Amazon, for example. Follow along with me. Okay. I see your face.
Yeah, okay.
All right. Because it, things are convenient. You have all these things at your disposal very easily, right? I want Windex. I'm going to go on Amazon and I can find the cheaper version of Windex and have it at my door tomorrow. But what happens when you have this billion-dollar industry that sells everything under the sun, from food to toys to electronics to whatever you need, is that the competition kind of goes, it kind of goes away. You lose the mom and pop shops, you lose the local clothing stores, you lose the bodegas. Are you following me here?
Yeah.
It's almost too smart that it starts to hurt you. Or like AI, right? Like, let's use our brains to make shit easier for us. But what happens with more artificial intelligence? Are you still following me here? Are you still following me?
Yeah.
What happens with more artificial intelligence?
Robots will take over.
Robots will take over, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I
watched iRobot.
I don't even need to get up and get my phone to text somebody. I could say, I'm not even going to say it because all my devices are going to go off. I could say those words and a device will say, yo, what do you need? And I'll tell them and they'll do it for me. It's crazy.
Yeah, because
I'm done with my analogy, by the way.
I'm going to follow it. Eventually, you got to get your ass up and you got to do something. You got to get the checkbook and spend money.
Exactly.
Scared money don't make no money.
Word up, dog. Damn. Fuck, man. You know what? I feel like being on IG Live, I feel a lot of pressure. Like it's hot as hell.
Me too. Me too.
We did this on Facebook last week and there was not,
nobody was watching.
People were watching, but nobody was commenting and stuff. Kevin's making me nervous here. Kevin, I'm gonna give a shout out to Kev_488. He's a Red Sox fan, but good dude. We gotta
bring him on the show.
Yeah, man. I don't know though. I don't know, man. It might just, you guys might have to do one or something because he'll kill me.
I'll go on vacation and he'll take the Red Sox role.
No, man. No.
You go on vacation.
Yeah, you guys can have a Red Sox love affair, whatever you want to do, man.
Yeah.
No. No way. He won't let me live down that you guys won the World Series last year, so I'm not gonna.
Again, I don't even know how to. Season 2, episode 2 here, guys. I still don't know how to take that World Series. It was such a clean, like, no drama. I mean, the media tried to create drama, but we the fans knew from the beginning.
You done?
I still don't know how to take in that World Series, to be honest with you. Like, I don't know, man.
Are you done now?
Yeah.
All right.
Next topic.
All right, man. So let's talk about something else real quick. So it was reported that Major League Baseball is going to try out a pitch clock during spring training this year. Did you hear about this?
Yeah.
So you're going to have 20-second pitch clocks. And the idea is to give players, managers, umpires experience because this is probably going to be a rule that's going to get passed I would imagine probably next year. Are you in favor of a pitch clock? What do you what do you think about that?
Not that I'm in favor of it, but who's the pitcher that I'm trying to think of right now? Sonny Gray, right? He takes like a long time to deliver a pitch.
Yeah.
He takes like an extremely long time for no reason to deliver a pitch. Whereas you got a guy like Chris Sale that I think he averages the quickest delivery, you know? And I don't know what advantage they get by taking their time and really, you know, taking their time. I don't see the advantage. I think, you know, just get up there and pitch. I don't think I would say no to the pitch clock, but if I was a manager, I would go up to a guy like Sonny Gray and be like, cut the shit out, like just pitch the ball.
Yeah, and
you're getting into your own head at this point.
And yeah, you're right. And I think it works on both ways. I think it works for the batter too, because there's some batters out there that take forever to step up to the batter's box. It might give the pitcher the incentive, instead of being the nice guy and waiting for him to step up to the plate, to just deliver the pitch and take the strike. There was a video going around about Max Scherzer. I forget who he was facing. I think it was Mikhail Franco. I'm not sure. But he was taking his time, fixing his gloves, and the umpire said, go ahead, whenever you're ready, throw the pitch. And Scherzer wound up and threw a strike, and Mikhail Franco just looked like, what the hell is going? Just take the strike, man. Get the game going. Move it along, man. Like, there's no time for this stuff, man. And by the way, there is a rule that you're not supposed to step out of the batter's box. You know,
that is not enforced though. Yeah,
but it's never enforced.
Right? Real quick, by the way,
Yeah.
If I would imagine that as a Major League Baseball player, if I see Max Scherzer on the mound, I am gonna hurry up. Like, respect the guy, man. He's Max Scherzer.
It's Max Scherzer, man. Yeah.
I don't know.
So no, I'm cool with it. I'm down with the pitch clock. I'll take it. I think it'll make the game entertaining too.
But like, okay, like I'm down with the pitch clock, I guess. But how would that work if I can imagine it getting violated every pitch for certain guys.
I think that as soon as the ball's delivered back to the pitcher, the clock starts, and you have 20 minutes to deliver the pitch.
See, but I don't know. I don't know how I feel like that. You're gonna have to ask me when the rule implemented.
And that's why it's gonna be put. That's why it's gonna be enforced in spring training to see how it's gonna work. Maybe the pitch clock starts when the batter steps into the batter's box. Start the pitch clock. You know, maybe then guys will stop stepping out of the batter's box. And if you step out of the batter's box, you know, turn it into basketball. Call it a foul or something. I don't know, man. You do it 3 times, you're out of the game or some shit. You're ejected. I don't know. I don't know.
Nah, I would hate that.
Yeah. I think the game does have to, you know, there are some things. Games change, man. Basketball, the 3-point line is relatively new. That hasn't been there all along. And it makes the game exciting. Just try new things, man, because we're losing fans. Let's put it that way. And anything that can drive people back into baseball, I'm down for it.
All right. Yeah.
That's my take.
I can't disagree with that.
Good. You better not. All right, guys. I'm going to sign off. Here's what else
Which means I'm signing off.
Yeah, word. Here's what else you need to know in the world of baseball. CC Sabathia announces that he's going to retire after the 2019 season. The Milwaukee Brewers re-signed Mike Moustakas for a 1-year, $10 million deal. And Mike Trout speaks, ladies and gentlemen. He says that everybody sees it when he's referring to a slow free agent market. It's obviously not good for baseball. It's disappointing for the players. So that's Mike Trout's take on free agency. He never speaks, so when he speaks, it's like The Godfather. You listen, right?
Yep.
Welcome to the Show is brought to you by Audible. Go to audibletrial.com/welcome to the show to get a free audiobook download and a 30-day free trial. That's audibletrial.com/welcome to the show. For more exclusive deals like that one and more, you can get 10% off of KD Custom Kicks, where Major League Baseball players like Aaron Judge get their custom cleats, and David Wright, and many other baseball players, Walker Buehler, so on and so forth. Visit our website, WTTSpod.com/save, and you can get some deals there. Once again, that's WTTSpod.com/save. The music for this show was produced by VM Varga and Rapturno music by Naughty Productions. Artwork is by Luigi Gomez. And last but not least, CT.
Peace.
Peace.